Hello there and welcome to a second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. This Tuesday, the 21st day of January 2025. On sign language, I'll be joined shortly by Senyomo Yusuf and M. Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, and we're bringing you this bulletin online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, has assured the public of plans to resurrect the government policy to ensure that every constituency secures an ambulance. Now, the program was downplayed in the budget process of the running financial year after the funds were reallocated to support local construction services. Ms. Among was addressing a gathering at a health camp in Bukedea district. We'll have more in this story.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, opened a 3-day health camp in Bukedea district. The doctors and regional leaders stressed utilizing such opportunities of free medical camps by the public.
That's why they cannot access. The specialists are far away, but some of them also have economic challenges to travel long distance. So this is one way of bridging the gap, bringing patients.
Very many people stay in their community without knowing whether they have hypertension, they are diabetic, they don't know whether the signs and symptoms of early cancer, sickle cell disease, and many diseases which are not obvious, and we only see people at the tail end. Coming in their community and screening them is important and good for them, so that we put them on treatment early.
Parliament had in this running financial year appropriated 300 billion shillings to cater for the remaining constituencies which have not benefited under the program of the National Ambulance Service System, which was initiated in 2023. But the plan did not yield after the President returned the appropriation bill asking for a reallocation. Only 116 constituencies had benefited from the system. Speaker Anita Among assures the public that the funding will be reinstated in the next financial year.
Health is life. We have appropriated a lot of money for health, the health sector. We have given, when you go to a district, you get an ambulance. All districts have ambulances. The money which was returned was supposed to add more ambulances, but we have ambulances everywhere. But that said and done, we are going to budget this year again for those ambulances.
Anita Among proposes that government looks into waiving tax from health equipment to enhance service delivery.
Very good laboratories. I'm actually surprised that we have those kind of laboratories in Uganda. I am very impressed with the laboratories we have. No wonder that's why we have been able to fight COVID, fight Ebola, fight all these kind of things.
The 3-day health camp is organized by over 100 medical officers from 15 regional referral hospitals to provide free health services to beneficiaries from Teso sub-region. Lydia Chomkama and Gloria Gutaminji, UBC News.
Now, the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs budget has been reduced from 4.7 trillion in the 2024-25 financial year to 4.3 trillion 2025-2026 financial year. And members of Parliament on the Defense Committee wonder how the increasing demands of the forces will be met. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Edith Wuturo, says they will work with what is available, and if they fail, they'll return and ask for a supplementary.
The Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, led by Minister Jacob Both, have appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Defense to answer questions on the budget for financial year 2025-2026. The chairperson of the committee said among the issues in the Ministry of Defense is the stock of domestic areas, not paying their suppliers and diverting funds to do other things.
Domestic areas. Very, very important because it touches on our voters, it touches on accountability. Please take us through that. How come you don't pay people who supply you?
The ministry had areas amounting to 10.1 billion shillings by 2021-2022, which was not cleared and has accumulated to 83.6 billion 2023-2024. Buturo says they need 1.26 trillion shillings to improve welfare of the UPDF, like payment of salaries, one of their budget priorities, and 582 billion shillings needed for provision of combat services.
Providing pensions and gratuity, and then resettlement and integration of the veterans. And the amount of money provided here is 213.1 billion shillings.
Pension is all related to the personnel, gratuity. Food is based on the number, fuel, medical expenses, clothing. These are all well known. We would not ordinarily be asking for supplementary.
Some members of parliament were concerned about the dwindling budget for the ministry with the increasing demands, while others say the budget should prioritize paying pension and gratuity for veterans.
They intend to recruit another 10,000. But the budget is not supporting this. What magic are you planning, Minister of Defense? There's a budget of 30 billion and zero allocation. Is this part of the priority areas for the ministry, really? We know how our veterans, they served in this country.
To do it in a phased manner, because we don't have all the resources to do it at once, but it is in the process.
The budget for Operation Shuja has a shortfall of 14.9 billion shillings, while they need 46.8 billion shillings for Karamoja Usalama kwa wote, and in the budget they are given 23.7 billion, leaving a shortfall of 23.1 billion shillings. Some members of parliament asked why the Ministry of Defense asks money for operations, wondering when will the conflicts end.
When shall we end, that operation? Because are we going to remain at war for all the time?
Supposed to close and our forces come back. But still I'm seeing something that we are still going to be incurring expenses as far as facilitating the forces there.
At least something must be done by Ministry of Finance to make sure that much as we are looking at the security of Congo, Somalia, and what have you, we first serve our people within.
The border is porous. That is the one. You cannot stop illegal movement of guns.
Other issues that caused the debate is enhancement of salaries of UPDF cadres, where the minister told the committee that they have a target of increasing salaries for captain to 1.2 million, while private cadres to 812,000 shillings in 2025-2026 financial year, which will change their welfare. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa at PA.
Now, concerns have been raised by members of the opposition on the low public turnout for the National Voters Register Update exercise. Many cite proximity of registration centers and placement in enclosed locations like schools and churches. The 21-day exercise, which began on January 20th, ends on February 10th, 2025.
Here in Kampala's Masindi division, at a registration center at Najana Nkumbi Seventh-day Adventist Church, there seemed to be a low turnout. While the Electoral Commission team was present, there was little or no activity. Across the road at another center, the exercise was underway. Here, a person living with a disability, Ramadan Muhanji, had just completed registering.
To exercising right here for Ngabalema. Tibalema kutusule mabiganta abalema bajje naffe tuyimirire naffe banga tuli ku government program.
At St. Paul's Primary School in Nsambya, the exercise was progressing. A youth who had just registered to Chirinze Bruce told UBC his experience.
Mumekinga sure nti muteekawo embeera ekebeera amanya gammwe mu nkalala zino tusobole okumaliriza exercise eno tulinda akalulu buli omu gw'alina ku mutima asobole okumulonda.
Besides youth, other persons are also being encouraged to participate in the exercise.
Nzizeeyo nina okugamba bannange bonna abendeseeyo kuba bagenda kumbuuza ekindeese eno n'ebyenfunyeeyo bannyonnyole nti tulina okwewandiisa era mugende mu bungi babakoleko mu bwangu.
Stakeholders from various political parties while visiting the registration centers raised concern about proximity and placement of the stations as hindering public accessibility.
Abantu ebifo ebyateekeddwawo babitya. Mpa ekyokulabirako nga wano wenzize ekifo kiri mu geeti omala kuba ng'ombe asikali najja n'akugulirawo kati omuntu wa bulijjo tasobola kukonkona geeti ya kifo nga kino.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has addressed some of the technical challenges affecting the process. Earlier, the Commission spokesperson Julius Muchunguzi assured the public that these issues are being resolved and no extensions will be granted.
We want to appeal to Ugandans to use this period to make sure that before the 10th of February 2025, all those that are eligible, those who want to register as first-time voters, those who are already on the voters register and wish to transfer from one polling station to another, those who are on the voters register and wish to check their particulars, whether there are any discrepancies, and the students who were registered by NIRA and have now turned 18 years of age, to come and get registered as voters, get allocated polling stations, and exercise their right to vote.
Muchunguzi also called for increased public sensitization, particularly by parish supervisors, to ensure that every eligible voter is encouraged to register.
If they are watching this broadcast, I want them to know that this is one of the most critical responsibilities that they have, to mobilize people, to inform people, to teach people, to make sure that they know, one, that this exercise is going on, two, that it has a deadline of the 10th of February, three, to let them know what they need to come with when they are coming to check their particulars or to register, and four, to inform them on the plan, on which place they need to be when.
With just 19 days left, all eligible Ugandans are urged to visit the nearest registration centers and participate in the voter update. Justine Nakami, UBC News.
Now, the national coordinator of the Democratic Alliance, Matthias Mpuga, has engaged the leadership of the Forum for Democratic Change over his initiated constitutional and electoral reforms and desired peaceful transition framework. The FDC party president, Patrick Oboy Amuriat, commended Mpuga's struggles and promised to engage other party organs to come up with a position over the reforms.
The Nyendo Mukungwe, Member of Parliament, also the National Coordinator, Democratic Alliance, Matthias Mpuga, has spent half of the day at Forum for Democratic Change, FDC. At the FDC headquarters in Najanankumbi, Mpuga engaged in a closed-door 3-hour meeting with the party president, Patrick Oboya Muriati, FDC national chairman, Jack Sabiti, and other party leaders.
We will meet everybody, like I said. We will meet everyone willing to make a contribution to ensuring that the next election represents the wishes, including the frustrations of our common peoples, for the sake of change in Uganda. The conversation about the transition is ongoing, but ongoing shabbily in a manner that is probably fraudulent. And it's our job as political actors in this space to stop a fraudulent transition of power from one group or an individual to another.
This is an abridged version of the reforms and transitional arrangements that they have put across and brought to our attention.
Mpuga's drafted political agitations include 3 major cores of constitutional and electoral reforms and peaceful transfer of power framework.
We have discussed the urgency with which this push must pick traction. and that we have agreed on obligations of each of the parties. He has mentioned what he's going to do as head of the FDC with his team, and at the DA, where we believe we need to do more, as they have advised us, we are going to move.
The FDC leadership committed to dialogue with anybody intending to promote democratic change. Muriati referred Mpuga's reforms to other party organs for discussion.
This is something that we had expected our friends from the National Unity Platform to take a lead in. But as nature abhors a vacuum, I think the DA has picked up the pieces, and therefore I must confirm that in keeping with our wishes as the FDC, we appreciate these electoral reforms and the transitional provisions.
Meanwhile, the Democratic Party seems eager over Democratic Alliance dialogue.
So, we have a track record of the political engagement because we believe that the Honorable Mpuga and his team maybe are saying something for Uganda, which is okay. So, we will engage Honorable Mpuga. He has written us. At the right time, we'll engage him. And we have done a response.
So far, Mpuga has engaged with Justice Forum, JEMA, Electoral Commission, and now FDC. The alliance also sent an application to the National Unity Platform. Abdul Nasir Lubwama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
Meanwhile, the Democratic Party, DP, is set to host a National Council meeting sometime in March to, among others, scrutinize their cooperation agreement with the National Resistance Movement. According to the party Secretary General Gerald Siranda, this will supersede a 2-day National Executive Committee, noting that attendance will be purely on invite only. We have more in this story.
The Democratic Party, which is Uganda's oldest political party, entered into a cooperation agreement with the ruling party NRM in June 2022, a move that was welcomed and criticized in equal measure. With barely a year to the 2026 general elections, some politicians, including those belonging to the Democratic Party, have started demanding the framers of the cooperation agreement to account on the progress of the cooperation agreement.
The agreement alone, unimplemented, has nothing to offer, just like a constitution.
All of it has not been...
It has never. Where was the implementation of that agreement?
Where was it?
Except when we established it and appointed a tool of implementation, who is the minister that told you he has nothing to do?
Now, through the party Secretary General, Gerald Siranda, the Democratic Party has invited party members to a National Council meeting, a platform for attendees to scrutinize the cooperation agreement.
We will be dealing with a financial year report and the budget for 2025. But we are also going to discuss the big animal, the cooperation agreement, and other engagement with other political parties and organizations. Because we are engaging. We are busy engaging because the DP is always at the center stage of preparation and cooking. Whatever idea you see, people power, that's the DP brain.
Siranda, however, says only members that sit on the National Executive Committee, the parliamentary group, and the district chairpersons, as per the DP party structure, will attend.
And I want to sound a warning that you only come to that meeting when you have an invitation letter from me. You may like me, you may not like me, but you have a letter with a seal of the Secretary General.
The meeting, scheduled for 7th March this year in Soroti City, will also offer a platform for attendees to discuss the party electoral roadmap.
Members, this National Executive Council will be approving the roadmap for our party leadership renewal, but also the general elections.
In the same breath, the Democratic Party has called on eligible Ugandans to embrace the ongoing voters' registration and verification exercise.
I want to encourage the DP members to mobilize people to register. We may be complaining of the timelines, but let's first use the time that is there for now. Ugandans always love to go in the last days, last minute, in a lot of these things. Please register early to vote. If you have daughters and sons and children that didn't got national IDs when they were at school, please ensure that they go to these processes of registration.
Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
At least 621 million shillings PDM money has so far been received in Karujubo Division, Masindi Municipality, and dispersed to 617 beneficiaries. During the visit in the area by State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, residents called for more PDM funding up to 200 million Ugandan shillings per parish to quickly cater for more beneficiaries. Our reporter, Crispas Adenitwe, is in Masindi and filed this report.
Shouts of joy and ululation filled Karujubu Division as jubilant residents welcomed the State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Balambaro Gahara, who is currently on a PDM assessment tour in the area.
With the PDM, I want to thank the government of Uganda, that's led by His Excellency the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for this wonderful and good program. The program is good. The challenge is only one. The numbers are overwhelming vis-a-vis the money we normally receive. So far as a division, we have received 621 million.
The minister tasked the PDM coordinators to list the PDM beneficiaries publicly.
We are assessing the impact of government programs in the community. I'm pleased to inform that some people have benefited, but the youth in Karujubu, they have been left out. The money meant for the youth was not given to the youth. I'm only noted today when I asked the parish chief and the town clerk, the deputy town clerk, where the money for the youth is. They were all claiming the youth didn't come up to register, so they gave money to other people, which is not right.
Some PDM beneficiaries who invested in piggery, however, are counting losses. Swine fever attacked their pigs, paralyzing their chances of refund.
It is very true. Some PDM beneficiaries who went into the enterprise of piggery because of swine fever lost their projects. So that one is a challenge. With the PDM, the numbers of the youth vis-a-vis the 30% that is recommended for them to benefit from, still we see that percentage, yes, it is good, but the money is not enough. The Honorable Minister witnessed in the old sale, they had only benefited one youth.
Karujubu Division is one of the 4 divisions making up Masindi Municipality. This division is composed of 22 cells. Out of these 22, only 7 have got electricity, leaving the other 15 in power blackout.
Only 7 cells are powered. The rest 15 have no electricity. We have a health center in Kibona, which has 6 cells, all feeding from the same health center, with a population which is overwhelming.
Other pressing concerns raised by the LC3 chairperson include there is an alarming school dropout rates, with many of the school-going children going into casual labor.
I want to thank the people for the love. I've appealed to them to use the money they are earning from PDM for enterprises, not for consumption, not for buying alcohol, and not for marrying off their children. One area where I went, I discovered the dropout, that is Kabaria cell. the dropout rate of children who are dropping out, who are not making it to P7, is high. The headmaster confirmed that 90% of the children, whenever they reach P5, P6, they drop out and they get married. Others are going to agricultural farms.
This PDM assessment tour by the Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Balambaro Gahara, is meant to verify whether PDM is making gains on ground. Crispus Arinitwe, here in Masindi Municipality.
Crispus Arinitwe, thank you so much for that story there. Now, the commander of the 1st Infantry Division, Major General Stephen Mugerwa, has reaffirmed the Joint Forces' commitment to dismantle organized crime in Greater Kampala, Greater Busoga, and Greater Bunyoro. He said through shared intelligence and coordinated efforts, the UPDF, the Uganda Police Force, and sister forces will create a safer haven for communities in the region. Take a watch.
The joint security forces comprising of the UPDF, police and other sister forces have made significant strides in dismantling criminal gangs and restoring order in Greater Kampala. It follows emerging gangs and other criminal elements in Greater Kampala.
Expect to be criminals and who are hiding in the swamp. There is a swamp there. That is from Masanaf as we are going to Waise. On your left hand, there is a swamp. Therefore, these people were staying there. Therefore, our soldiers quickly responded after getting information, as I told you earlier on, and cut them off and managed to arrest them. They found them with a lot of items, of course, like number plates of motorcycles. They also found them with pangas, knives, bags for ladies, and we highly suspect this could be part of the criminals that have been terrorizing people, especially around those areas.
The commander, 1st Infantry Division, Major General Stephen Mugerwa, says the division's mission is to ensure stability in the 38 districts of Greater Kampala, Greater Busoga, and Greater Bunyoro.
Abantu abamu tebamanyi masimu gaffe ne bw'omukwata n'omuwa akasimu n'abafanda abasajja baabo ne batubba baabo ne batuuse nosikuba emmotoka mangu okuyikira exod force amajja agamangu agali ku mmotoka.
Since the initiation of the joint forces, a number of the criminal gangs have been dismantled or arrested. The joint security forces have been engaging local leaders in meeting to pave way for apprehending these criminal gangs.
Kati nga joli abalamu twafunye abantu batulagira nti mu swamp wali abantu abavayo ababi bantu be batulagiridde ngero kula twasanze ebipanga enamba z'amapikipiki ebiki bye twajeeyo ebijambiya.
Mugerwa says the community has been instrumental in identifying these criminals, which has led the intelligence to swing into action and arrest them.
In the morning, and you call us around 2, you might find that these negative elements could have escaped and gone away. Therefore, we encourage them that when there is an incident, immediately give us a call. When you give us a call in time, we can have a quick reaction or a quick response, and maybe those wrong people can be easily identified and arrested, and the law takes its course. Also, it helps us through discussions and comparing notes. We also happen to identify darker spots.
Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
We'll now take a very short break and we'll be returning with much more. Do stay with us.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
According to the
Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census report of 2016, in Uganda, 12.4% of the population, about 4.5 million, live with a disability. Limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UCOSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for People with Disability program aims to improve the accessibility of education and technology for persons with disabilities and promote their full and effective participation in society. UCOSAF is implementing this program through the creation and maintenance of an online observatory for persons with disabilities intended to link persons with disabilities with service providers and different programs that empower them, and provision of adaptive tools that enhance their quality of life through ICTs and digital skilling.
Government of Uganda presents Post Buses in Uganda, operated by Posta Uganda. We specialize in professional transport, courier and vehicle hire services across Uganda. Our routes include Kampala Masaka Mbarara Kabale Chisoro, Kampala Mukono Jinja Mbale via Tirinyi Road Soroti Lira, and Kampala Luwero Kamudini Gulu Kitgum. Our main offices are located at the Post Office Head Office on Kampala Road, with booking services available at counters 23 and 24 at the General Post Office. You can also book at designated district post offices along our routes. For inquiries or bookings, please contact us on 0751 684 184. Posta Uganda. We deliver trust.
Welcome back from that break, and this is UBC News. Now, replacement of the former Kawempe North constituency Member of Parliament, the late Mohamed Sejirinya, is heating up, with a number of people from different political parties expressing interest. Over 6 aspirants are warming up on the National Unity Platform ticket, although only one will be selected to stand. Other political parties are still skeptical, although the NRM says they will maintain the 2021 general elections flag bearer. Philip Aguta reports.
Although the 60 days mandated by the law for National Electoral Commission to declare a constituency vacant after one is dead has not expired, several individuals are lining up for Kawempe North constituency. Kawempe North constituency seat fell vacant following the death of Mohamed Sejirinya.
Nevertheless, you as a candidate, you have to be prepared.
Nalukola Luyimbazi is a lawyer and a member of National Unity Platform who wants to replace Sejirinya.
Now I'm among those who intend to contest for a parliamentary seat of Kawempe North constituency, which fell vacant recently when we lost our own Honorable Mohamed Sejirinya. So I'm one of those people who intend to contest for that position, and indeed I'm fit for the same. I'm a member of National Unity Platform, and I believe I'll be able to persuade members of National Unity Platform to give me their ticket and run for that position.
There are several individuals who have printed posters under the same party, including the wife to the deceased Sejirinya.
Actually, I'm not the one who is inviting myself on my own, but rather the people of Kawempe North are inviting me. And since it is a number of them, I have to move with this good message.
The Forum for Democratic Change, JEMA, Democratic Party DP, Uganda People's Congress UPC, and the People's Front for Freedom are still skeptical. Although NRM says they will maintain the 2021 general elections flag bearer.
The beauty of NRM is that there is no vacancy in NRM. We have space, and because we elect people everywhere. We have a flag bearer in that constituency, that is Kawempe North. It's unfortunate.
Requires or needs a effective representation, where effective representation means that you have a person who is articulate, who can express ideas, who can be clear in communication, a person who means what he says and what he says what he means. So, and a person who is bold enough, even as is NRM, as I am, who can be in position to say, this is not the right way.
Kawempe is a known constituency for position. However, the NRM hopefuls say they can overturn the myth.
Have all these no people delivered? So they have realized that the matter now is not NOP. The matter may not be one's political party, but looking at one's capacity, one's training, one's exposure, one's experience, and his real character. The kindness or the commitment in him or her to serve the community. So
candidates are ready to undertake the by-election, although after 8 months, the winner will have to return for fresh campaigns. The Electoral Commission now will kick off the process of replacing the late Sejirinya after the constitutional 60 days mandate. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Thanks, Philip, for that story there. Now, the Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majezi, has rallied Boda riders towards organized entity to benefit from different government programs. While launching the Boda Union, Mr. Majezi tipped on how these organized groups will be influential in mobilizing political support to the NRM in the forthcoming general elections of 2026.
The launch of the Boda Union application comes at a time when political atmosphere in the country is gearing up for the 2026 general elections. Politicians intend to use these organized groups for support mobilization.
To benefiting more information collection.
We shall benefit as UPDF through information collection. Because we are heading into the elections in 2026,
for political mobilization.
It will be beneficial using these people or working alongside them for political mobilization.
And above all,
I
want to mobilize you to support the government.
Njagala okubakunga muwagire gavumenti. All this we are doing. It is possible with good leadership. For His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni. I request for the vote for President Yoweri Museveni. Together with the National Resistance Movement, we want to build something that when it reaches up and you get people who don't understand you and break it.
While officiating at the launch of this application, the Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majezi, reiterated on the strategy of combating crimes and enhancing employment efforts.
If you need any information, you get it from Boda. If you need any news of what is happening in any area, it's the Boda. I mean, the other time, somebody killed a clan leader of Buganda. Who arrested him? It was a Boda rider. So we need them in terms of our own security.
These Boda riders, as mobilized by their chairperson, Frank Maweje, intend to establish a Boda bank to strengthen their financial muscle. Minister Majez has committed 10 million Uganda shillings towards bank initiative.
Be in good books with finances. Manage our finances and our succors. It's going to be the work of the union. Those are going to be small issues. By 1 year.
2.
tuzimbe bank eya Boda Boda. We wanted to construct a Boda Boda bank.
Mwambade white.
Just like you are royed in white. It stipulates that your union is so different.
Make it pure. So,
without any further ado, I'm pledging and I'll give you 10 million towards the bank, Boda Boda Bank.
With the union set to bring together riders from all corners of the country, the political landscape is likely to see significant engagement from these influential groups. Abdul Nasser Lubwama for UBC.
Now to matters pertaining to the health sector, where cervical cancer is a preventable and treatable condition if detected early, yet many women seem unaware of simple steps to protect themselves. Health experts advise regular screenings and vaccinations to reduce the risk and to seek medical advice at the first sign of unusual symptoms. This message was during a health camp organized by Reborn Hospital in Chiti, Kasangati sub-county.
Cervical cancer grows slowly, often showing no symptoms for months or even years. The Executive Director of Preventing Cervical Cancer globally, Dr. Miskael Melissa, explains that screening tests can detect both cervical cancer and pancreas cells and recommends starting screenings at the age of at least 21.
Cervical cancer is 100% preventable, and so that's what our goal is for women to never ever have cervical cancer. The cervical cancer stages go from 1 to 4. So a grade 1 cervical cancer can be treated surgically. After that, you're going to maybe have to have radiation, but your chances of a cure go way down.
You are HPV negative. You should be tested again in 5 years. So every 5 years for those who are negative.
In some cases, a small cancer can be treated with a cone biopsy, while more advanced cases may require tracheotomy or hysterectomy. Therefore, parents are encouraged to vaccinate their children early to prevent cervical cancer.
So it's transmitted sexually. That's the only way you can get cervical cancer. It is a sexually transmitted disease. So women get it from their partners. There's no screening for men. So the only way to prevent a man from having it is to vaccinate him when he's a boy.
The HPV virus can be vaccinated where often may be in children where they have not yet had sexual intercourse. Yes.
A medical expert at Reborn Hospital, Julia Mikade, stated that women diagnosed with early-stage cervical cancer can still conceive and bear children.
When cervical cancer is caught in early stages, like I said, women can still conceive and have kids when she has the disease, and the time comes to give birth to the baby. The disease is not passed on to the child. The child is very safe.
During the health camp, Reborn Hospital CEO Andrew Kakande and Uganda North American Association Special Envoy Keza Seninde called upon government to raise awareness about regular checkups and promoting mutual fidelity in relationships.
For sure, we need to ask the government to assist us to sensitize people about cervical cancer. With that one, it would be good because people come with cervical cancer when it's too late. And most of them, they could survive.
Let us get one woman, you stick on that woman, you take her for checkup, you go for checkup, so always you can know your condition.
Story compiled by John Tawairi Proskovia for UBC News.
Now, the community of Aler in Lira district has petitioned the Ministry of Lands to revoke a land title acquired by Lira district local government for a piece of land hosting a rock that the community claims was wrongfully taken from them. They insist the title was processed in error and demand the Ministry of Lands to respond within weeks.
The land in question is about 31 acres and hosts a rock currently quarried by Gulsan Company Limited for the construction of a patch Lira-Puranga Road. Initially, the rock blasting began smoothly, with the Gulsan signing a customary lease agreement in 2021 with the 165 affected households.
Loba waro bino miyo kede bino gi gino bino tiyo kede goba. Nimi yotadero siente ame romo million pieradek pieri ame no miyo. However,
concerns have arisen over the land's ownership.
Ladies and local government managed to maneuver and get the title for this land here. And yet this is a customary land.
The community accuses the district local government of irregular processing the land titles in its name, despite a community-imposed caveat.
Not allowing Lira district to get the title. But these people, after the caveat was sent at the district land board, they went ahead and forged and got the title illegally.
I'm urging the government, the higher authority, to at least talk to our chairperson of Lira district local government, Mr. RCM Kelorek, and my chairperson, Legislative of Ogur, not to abandon my parish.
Over the weekend, locals met to demand central government intervention. They warned that failure to address these grievances within 2 weeks would lead to civic action to protect their property.
Honorable Minister of Works, they're giving 2 weeks to the contractor. From today, we had a meeting. They want the title in question to be revoked, to be cancelled. Without that, they say these people should pack their things and go, because the land has been taken away.
The community's issue include irregular compensation, broken promises, and refusal of the district to share the 100 million shillings annually paid by Gulsan.
The challenge we have here is Gulsan. Gulsan always bring back the rate which they have valued maybe 2 years back.
Members were compensated under the tree, and yet we know very well the guidelines and the procedure of compensation. Money has to go through the account for the
Although the district chairperson claims the rock should be government-owned natural resource, locals argue otherwise, referencing a similar case in Nakapiripirit in 2019, where the court sided with the community.
A rock is not a mineral. A rock is grouped under maram, and the rock belongs to the owner of the land.
Ediulwa, UBC News.
The Parish Development Model, PDM, has succeeded in Wakiso District based on research by Makerere University Business School among marginalized groups like women, youth, and people with disabilities. Dr. Gideon Nguruziza, the lead researcher, noted that over-politicization has hindered some people's involvement in the program. The research that focused on agriculture was funded by the Makerere Research and Innovation Fund.
The 1.5-year research by Makerere University Business School based on agriculture among marginalized groups like women, youth, and people living with disabilities proved success of the parish development model.
If we can implement PDM with its 7 pillars, in particular looking at them, and also learning from previous interventions, their success stories and the strength and the flaws. It is important that we also appreciate that PDM will also contribute more from 39%, making them join the money economy.
Dr. Sabrina Chitaka from Makerere Research and Innovation dismissed claims that the parish development model has failed.
Whenever money is given to the right people, the money will be utilized well. I also want to reassure the public who are watching us or listening that the parish development model is one of the strategies that's going to take Ugandans out of poverty.
Focus should shift to studying practical issues such as the survival of small businesses and linking findings to real-world outcomes.
A number of things have been recommended, and some of them we had seen them, but I'm very sure this report is going to be very important in helping us move PDM forward. But also, as knowledge creators, it is their principal role that they generate knowledge so that they can recommend to policymakers.
Stronger partnerships with industry and government are needed for data sharing and applying research to societal challenges.
Through a simple policy modification, which the National Council of Higher Education certainly will okay, is that these interns, instead of going to organizations that already have structures and at times they don't learn a lot, and also to contribute towards a mindset change, interns should go to the community. There it will be easy, they will be coming from their homes, so the cost of parents having to send them to towns for a month of internship will not be there. They will be using local language to bring in theory, to bring in academic knowledge to the groups of PDM.
The importance of policy-oriented research was emphasized with support for MOBs to lead in shaping national policies through evidence-based findings. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, 15 years of partnership, progress and purpose are being celebrated as Rotary District 9213 and Centenary Bank come together for a special engagement. Their collaboration has been a beacon of hope for countless communities, and this celebration offers a moment to reflect on their journey and future plans as they donate 100 million Ugandan shillings. Sandra Kahunde reports.
Rotary District 9213 and Centenary Bank are marking 15 years of working together, a collaboration that has sparked impactful projects across the country. From providing access to clean water to funding education and health initiatives, the two organizations have left an indelible mark on thousands of lives.
One of which is plastic trap gates, reducing, pollution from plastics coming into the Nile. We'll be engaged in tree planting. But for the local communities as well, in the days preceding the conference, we will be undertaking medical camps in the different districts, in the 5 districts of Busoga. And these medical camps, we're bringing a team of surgeons. We're going to be working with the Surgeons Association. And so we'll be giving free medical attention and support to the communities.
The partnership has seen projects like these come to life, delivering hope and change to undeserved areas. Both partners acknowledge that collaboration has been the key to their success.
Centenary Bank is honored to reaffirm its role as a platinum sponsor for the Rotary District Assembly and Conference, as we shall be contributing 200 million shillings towards these events, of which 100 million will go to District 9213 and 100 million to District 9214. This contribution is not just financial support. It represents our shared vision of transforming lives in and beyond Uganda. Together we are making a tangible difference in the communities that we serve as a bank and Rotary.
And also the medical camps that we do across the country with Rotary have significantly improved lives and helps to prevent and do early detection of cancer. So that's why we partner with Rotary to ensure that we protect lives and we care that people live longer.
Both Rotary 9213 and Centenary Bank are determined to address emerging challenges from education to environmental sustainability. Sandra Kahunde, Robert Katamba, News Tonight.
Now, the Vice-Chancellor Mbara University, Professor Pauline Byachika Chiwika, has applauded government for its efforts towards ensuring that the university gets a new facility of computing and informatics. Professor Byachika made the remarks during the official handover ceremony of the facility that cost government over 11 billion Ugandan shillings.
Bara University of Science and Technology, we are heavily constrained with space. We have a lot of capacity to develop our education programs, and we also have an increasing number of students. However, we are constrained by lack of space. So this new structure is the Faculty of Computing and Informatics. It has been housed in a small structure at our main campus, and we are very, very glad that it has been completed. So the Faculty of Computing and Informatics is going to officially move into their home.
The University Secretary in Bara University of Science and Technology, Vincent Kansime Kwatampola, disclosed that the university has plans for developments to shift Faculty of Science from town campus to Chihumiro campus.
We're already undertaking designs, and after that, we would look forward to engaging NEC again, because they have done a very tremendous work under this project they have just handed over.
The university engineer Patrick Mujunansi asserted that the structures shall also be used for research within different sections that are equipped to provide services for researchers, undergraduate learners, training other short courses in computing, informatics, and communication technology.
It has different sections which are equipped to provide services for researchers, for undergraduate learners, and also for training other courses, short courses.
We have handed it over at 98, not 100, because the semester is about to open. So the university requested that they occupy the building as we complete the remaining 2%.
Facility is located at Chihumiro campus along Barab-Shenford Poto Highway. Fred Anyine, Helen Barbara for UBC TV News.
Here's your chance to fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered the draw to win school fees.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at business news. Only 2.5 kilograms of fertilizer per hectare is applied on the farm, ranking Ugandan farmers at only 2% affordability on fertilizer usage. Green Pulse Uganda agronomist Dr. Hilary Rujema Semana says climate change and low fertilizer use makes it hard to improve food security.
The Ministry of Agriculture suggests that the number of farmers using inorganic fertilizers in Uganda is still low due to wrong perception and poverty leading to the limited access. A member of the Uganda Fertilizer Advisory Council at the Ministry of Agriculture and the head of Agronomy and Advisory Unit at Green Pulse Uganda, Dr. Hilary Rujema Semana, says the increasing farmer sensitization programs by government have triggered into increased fertilizer application.
If people are not using fertilizer, so I mean the market is growing, and we're not the only fertilizer company in the country. Many fertilizer companies are existing. You have Viara, you have ETG, you have Green Pulse, you have Uganda Crop Care, you have Bolton. they are all reaching out to the communities across the country.
Dr. Hilary says if Uganda is to elude food insecurity, fight abject poverty as declared in the recently concluded Africa Union Agriculture Summit in Kampala.
So we have a capacity of 300,000 metric tons annually, and we produce right for the smallholder farmer, because we even have some special packages for smallholder farmers, especially like in the Buganda Kingdom, where we have an arrangement up to 5 kilograms, but we do bag from 10, 25 to 50 kg. Then for the commercial farms like the oil palm in Kalangala, Sangobe, and the Buvuma, of course the tonnage is much bigger.
Uptake of fertilizers and investment in extension are paramount for the fulfillment of the Africa Development Agenda.
To me, I've been at least from the north down to the south, the east and central. Fertilizer usage has actually increased. So now the danger will be misuse of fertilizer and then, not understanding how to apply the right nutrients.
The current data on fertilizer usage in Uganda may not accurately reflect the reality on ground. With several local fertilizer producing companies and significant imports, farmers have access to more fertilizers than previously thought.
We always get their different blends. Of course, there are two considerations we always do here. One is customized blends. That is based on the soil analysis of a particular farmer. Then the other one is the crop specific, where we look at the crop and its requirement.
At the same time, synthetic fertilizer has been credited with a dramatic increase in crop production in many parts of the world, making fertilizer cheaper and more abundant. To address this challenge, stakeholders in the fertilizer industry from Green Pulse are working around the clock to produce fertilizer blends to suit the smallholder needs.
So we work with organized groups and farmer cooperatives, as well as the last mile individual farmers. So there are those farmers who can afford as individuals, there are those who can afford as groups.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The woman member of parliament for Rwampara district, Mole Musime Asimwe, has commended President Yoweri Museveni for empowering Rwampara women with skills through Sente program. The program enables Juakali enterprises to grow and thrive within a structured economic framework. She was in Nyehinga Town Council in Rwampara district during monitoring and evaluation of beneficiaries of Juakali enterprises groups.
Monitored and evaluated the progress of Juakali enterprise groups in Rwampara.
Here where we are, the ladies you see before me are members of the Rwampara Women Enterprises. They received 3 sewing machines and they have put them to use. They have increased their productivity. They are able to produce about 5 dresses in a day. They have even improved on fashion. They are now able to do wedding gowns.
The area woman MP, Honorable Moli Musime Asimwe, said President Museveni has empowered women with skills to enhance their livelihoods.
It has increased their production. We now can even do training for the young girls who are around, who are jobless, who are dropped out of school for one reason or another.
Nampumba Gloria, the chairperson of Rwampara Women Entrepreneurs, says they got 3 sewing machines and they helped them to transform their lives.
Muskiru zito twenka itogisa betwine tugarike twayongeraho kwega twayongerera kimwe kuguka omukono yito mbitubire ntukosane mukono yito
twetanga mukacarana cha finishing akuba kutukeza gukora nk'emyenda yitu omushanga twirukanga kuza kuronda bara tufinishingire maybe omwe tushanga batariyo konko bundu kutokubentu tukinaha enanka ni mazime mirumwe kabire negendo misho
sima mnonga government yito habo kutumanya nitwa bari yo kwenyuma nsimogwe
Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development Community Outreach Officer Aziwa Sharifa urged other Juakali groups to copy from the...
They were just tailoring normal clothes, but we are impressed. Right now they can even make bridal gowns. They're doing those dresses for weddings and other clothes that they weren't tailoring, and they've told us they've been able to acquire more skills.
The Ministry of Finance has released 15.64 trillion shillings for Q3 of financial year 2024-2025. Now, this quarterly release represents 21.68% of the approved budget.
While announcing the release of these funds at the ministry headquarters in Kampala, the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ramadan Gobi, said 2.044 trillion shillings of the money released will cater for wages and salaries.
As you know, this is wage, salaries, pension, gratuity. They have the second call on the budget. After that, the second call is this item. So we have released the money to all entities to pay wage.
This quarterly release is in line with the government's effort to promote technical efficiency by ensuring that all ministries, departments, agencies and local governments deliver services to Ugandans at the lowest cost.
Your Q3 budget of almost 15 trillion, how are we sure that we are likely to actually consume this amount of money, concerning the fact that we still have projects that have no feasibility studies, projects that have no concept notes, really projects that were not prepared to work? How have we ensured that the 15 trillion are going to, under Q3 really, is not actually being implemented and not to be particularly wasted?
Gobi says government will reduce on its expenditures to avoid the over-reliance on borrowing.
There are certain things which you could trade off, but you are finding it difficult to trade them off. They take resources, and yet you have priorities to spend on. So you have to borrow for the priorities when you are not trading off. Learning the culture of trade-offs. That's why I was telling you that this tendency of people going to Parliament and they say, I need more money here. But at the same time, they don't want to tell Parliament that also you need to reduce my money here.
Also, accounting officers have been directed to prioritize payment of service providers on time and also stop committing government without a budget.
All accounting officers are instructed to pay salaries, pensions and gratuity by the 28th day of every month as per the approved salary scales and our policy. Public servants should be paid on time, at most 28th of every month.
Diano Olwen Peters, UBC News in Kampala.
And that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Senyomo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
He was happy with his work. All the chicks were beautiful. He left them to play and feed. Now the hawk came and saw the red chick feeding. It flapped its wings for a king. But the red chick ran away and flew into a basket of tomatoes. It tried to search for the chick, but he failed because all it could see was red. It got disappointed, so it tried to fly away. But as it was flying away, Jomo saw it. He got annoyed. He picked his catapult and aimed at the hawk. The hawk fell down and died. Oh, thank God. Jomo's enemy has died. That is the end of our story.
Wow, thank you so much, P7, for that one. So she has to take a good look of you, and she will give you a signing.
Right now, I think I'll give you a sign name according to what I'm seeing. This is the sign name I'm giving you now. Because of your smile. Try. Can you try? I want you to copy what she's doing. Say my sign name. My sign name. My sign name. Thank you.
This is a call for everyone to make a reading a part of their everyday lives. We've been joined by Rotary Uganda, which is focusing this year on support to basic education activities. And of course, our partner DeafLink Uganda has been engaged in a variety of interventions to promote access to education for deaf children and youth. And as such, they advocated for this year's National Deer Day celebration to be held here at Bulaga School for the Deaf to promote reading as a way of life for all, regardless of physical challenges. Education is key to achieving one's full potential, and it is promoting an environment where all members of society are treated with respect and have equitable opportunity and access to education, employment, and government services. While much work still needs to be done in many places around the world, I am pleased at the progress that the United States has made in this